To make pear-shaped macarons, you need to download and print free template from my blog. Place this template under baking mat and start piping. First, you need to pipe round circle, and then next to this round circle, you need to pipe smaller round circle, large and smaller. You need to pipe those circles close to each other, larger and then small. This kind of remind snowman shaped macarons. You have to repeat with all pairs. After that, take toothpick or baking tool and make sure all the circles are connected. If you have any air bubbles, also remove with a toothpick. After that, place baking mat on a baking pan or baking sheet and tap a few times. This will help with the shape of macaron shells and also will help to remove any air bubbles. This is how it looks. And I'm using my no rest recipe. I will be baking, but if you're using a different recipe, you need to let it dry on a countertop, just like that. I also made different color of pear-shaped macarons, and I want to show you how I pipe them. I place template under baking mat. I'm using yellow macaronage. I placed in a piping bag with round piping tip, Wilton 12. And this is just a little different technique how I piped. First, I piped larger circles. Just following template. And then I piped smaller circles. If this technique you like better, you can do it like that. When you're done piping, use toothpick. Also make sure all the circles connected. I forgot one small circle, but this is not a problem. You can pipe after. And also, if you have more space on your baking mat, you just move the template and pipe more macaron shells. Place baking mat on a baking sheet. Tap a few times. With my no rest recipe, I'm ready to bake. But if you need to dry macaron shells before baking, just leave it on a countertop. When you bake macaron shells, let them cool, pare them, and place face up on a parchment paper. In a small bowl, mix gel food coloring with a few drops of vodka, and using paintbrush and fork, drizzle this mixture over macaron shells. This will make decor for pear-shaped macarons. Just make sure you're placing these macaron shells on a parchment paper and not straight on a countertop. You don't want to make a mess with the food coloring. To assemble pear-shaped macarons, I made white chocolate ganache. I placed in a piping bag with round piping tip, and I'm piping this ganache on a flat side of one macaron shell. I made pear confit. I placed in a small piping bag, and I'm placing this confit in one of the circles. And I also made homemade caramel. I'm placing this caramel in another circle of white ganache. After that, I'm sandwiching macarons, just pressing a little bit. Don't press too hard. You don't want any ganache coming out the macaron shells. I'm using gluten-free pretzel sticks. I'm placing them into ganache to look like a stem. Just like this, I'm gonna place filled macaron shells in airtight container and refrigerate for about 12 hours. They need to mature before you can enjoy them. Thank you for watching.